Hello, Paranormal Fanatics. I hope you're doing wonderful today. I myself, I'm doing all right. I can't complain. I just figure, instead of looking at me mug, I would let you guys kind of watch where I'm going, and pay attention to my surroundings for me. uh, we're gonna go through the infamous roundabout in Warren. It was a big controversy for a while. Nobody here wanted it, but we ended up with it anyway. So we'll see how bad it is, right? But I figure, why not go live? Why not have a sit down with you guys once again? Here we go. Round and round we go. Where we stop, I guess I know. I always get nervous when I see people creeping up to the section though, because, well, you never know if they're gonna stop or try to make their way through real quick in front of you. So, but I am thinking today I will talk about some of the paranormal stuff that I've been through. You guys might have heard me talk about it before. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you haven't heard these before, well, then my idea, my goal is good. Probably the first thing that I think about with paranormal experiences for me is, well, there's so many really, but I would one of the more famous places that we've been to, with a lot of videos on YouTube and things like that, would be Guernsey Hollow. And we've been there so much. Jay Wild likes to pick on me and say that I need a Guernsey Hollow punch card. My aunt, she makes she put images on coffee mugs and such, and she made me a coffee mug with a cemetery on it, Guernsey Hollow. That's how much I've been there. But yeah, we'd been there a lot of times, and probably gotten a lot of little EVPs, nothing that screams out, oh my God, check this out. The one time, probably the first time that we were there, which those that have been following this channel for some time has heard this story before, but we went with two cars, all within our group, and we wanted to go there during the day to make sure that nothing, see the layout of the cemetery, just in case there's some big holes or things that we should be aware of for safety reasons. So it's a nice sunny day, middle of July if I remember correctly, and it was a Sunday around 1 o'clock in the afternoonish, somewhere in that time frame. So early afternoon, very extreme late morning. And so both cars show up, we're following each other, and as we pull up, we see in the car that I was driving, we seen a younger couple, say 30s, maybe late 20s, in their Sunday finest. The guy had dress pants, dress shirt, vest. The woman had a nice summer dress type on, nice for like possible church. It wasn't too short, you know, to make you believe it was anything other. And so somebody in the car, if it wasn't me, said, "Hey, there's people here. Let's be respectful and you know, be careful where we're taking pictures and such, because you know, be respectful. Nobody wants to be visiting somebody of their loved ones and have people show up like paparazzi and start snapping pictures of them, you know." So the people in the other car get out, and they're saying the same thing. They seen them up there and was agreeing that, yeah, let's be careful where we take these pictures of. Now, that being said, for those of you that are not aware of at the time, Guernsey Hollow is a small cemetery where you go up a little hill to get to. You can see it from the street. It's a kind of dirt gravel road, woods surrounding the cemetery, clear sight up to the cemetery. Like I said, we can see the cemetery from the car. One entrance in, which is in the front. There's another entrance in the back, but that leads into woods and such. I don't see why they even have that entrance exit back there, but it is what it is. So around this cemetery at the time, that fence isn't there anymore, was a roughly 5 foot in height spiked tip fence for, you know, a very sharp pointed top. Like I said, about 5 feet, surrounded by woods. Now, we seen these people go towards the side of the cemetery. If you're looking up, they went to the left side. Not a very big cemetery. See the whole thing from the street for the most part. And they went to the left of the cemetery towards the fence. And we all went up there. It took us 3 or 4 minutes to get up there because we were, you know, grabbing some cameras and such. We were excited to be there. So we walk up there, and the people haven't left yet, so we're trying to be respectful and quiet and whatnot. Not that we'd go in any place hooting and hollering, but you know what I'm saying. And so when we get up there, these people were nowhere in sight. Like I said, you can see the whole place for the most part from the road. So once you're inside the cemetery, you can definitely see all 4 corners of it and everything in between. And we're looking, and these people were just not there. And mind you, they were solid. Like, you could look at your arm and see how they looked. And so, to say the least, we were pretty perplexed on where they could have went. So we're leaning on our first actual full body apparitions, you know, full body ghosts that we've ever seen in the group at that point. And we're not willing to say 100%, because there is a possibility, although it'd be very strange and unusual, but there is a possibility that they jumped over the fence and walked into the woods in their Sunday finest, you know, very nice clothes. Maybe not Sunday finest, but definitely more than sweatpants and a t-shirt. And we're not, to this day, we're not willing to say it was paranormal because, or 100%, because like I said, they could have went over the fence, but it is very unlikely. So that was probably our first true experience as a full group as Warren Area Society of Paranormal. That was at Guernsey Hollow in Frewsburg, New York. You'll be able to YouTube and find all kinds of videos on YouTube about it, and probably other areas too that I just haven't looked up yet. So that's probably our first true paranormal experience. And then we've been doing this for so many years. Another cemetery up in Jamestown. This wasn't really a group thing, but some of us in the group at the time went to another little cemetery called Hollenbeck in Jamestown, New York, or just outside of Jamestown, really. Now, this was a cemetery, extremely small cemetery. Like, if it has more than 15 graves, I would be surprised. And we went in my significant other's car. I was driving. We had some equipment. It was me, my girlfriend, my son, and another person that was part of the group at the time, all into just one vehicle that went to this little cemetery that's mainly kids. If you look on their YouTube page and go through the videos, you'll see videos about Hollenbeck Cemetery is what it is. And as we were there, we decided that we didn't want to go up to the cemetery because we were never there before, and we weren't sure about trespassing. It was dark, and so we got the brilliant idea, since the cemetery was about 5 feet away from us, to hook up the spirit box to the car stereo and use that as the car as a speaker and just go all out, you know what I mean? Now, at the time, that sounded like a perfect idea. I had a little FM transmitter, hooked up the spirit box. We were having a spirit box session and stuff on it, kind of going back and forth with it. And then we wrapped up the investigation from the car, which doesn't seem like it was very much. Now, Heather said that she was feeling little taps on her shoulder. But outside of that, nobody had any real experience there up until this point when we were ready to leave. Well, we start ready to go from this little cemetery, and it felt like there was something heavy on the hood of my car. It almost felt like a flat tire. And so we get up a little bit and decide that we would pull over and check out the tire. And for some reason, we still had the spirit box hooked up. I took it as an opportunity to see how much my son knew about changing tires, if he knew anything at all, if I could offer some advice, that kind of stuff. Try to be a good dad. When we got out of the car, me and my son, the girls stayed in the car. We walked around the car, all the tires were fine. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that sucks, because now I gotta figure out what's going on with the car that's causing it to feel like it's got a flat tire. There was a line of trees that was off to the side of the car, and as we were getting ready to get back in the car, we heard something come through towards us. I looked at my son and said, "Hey, get in the car." And I got around, he gets in, I get in, and we're like, wow, that was sounded like something crazy was coming at us through the trees. And like I said, the spirit box was still hooked up to the car radio and going on. And Steph and Heather both said, just before you guys come jumping in real quick over the spirit box, we heard something say, "Get in, sit down, sit down." So not only were we getting interaction from something outside coming through the trees, something was coming with a spirit box trying to warn us too. So that was pretty strange. But that doesn't stop everything, though. We get a little further from this little cemetery, and the flat tire field disappears. Now that was weird because we got like maybe a mile away from the cemetery, and it just didn't feel, the car felt normal again. Well, as the weeks progressed, though, the stereo was not acting right. It would be completely off. We'd go into the store, come back out, and I mean completely off. No, not turned down or anything. The power was off. We'd come back to the car, and it would be blasting when we turn on. The volume would be fully up. It would be loud. We'd have to turn it down real quick. We'll be listening to something, all of a sudden we'd keep going back to the same radio station or if it was on a CD, it would go back to the radio station that it seemed to like a lot, a local station, of course. What else would it do? Oh, it had one of those security faceplates where, you take off the faceplate of the radio, and it's not supposed to let it play, and nobody, it makes it worthless for somebody to steal because it wouldn't be operational. And so we would come back and it would start playing music even though the security plate was off, which is not possible. So after a week or so doing that, we were like, take it to the garage and have them look it over and see what they can figure out, because this is going to be a really pain in the butt, if nothing more. And so we got an appointment. We got in the garage. About 10-15 minutes later, we get a call saying, hey, your car is done. So we're thinking, all right, cool. So we get to the shop, the garage, and the technician says, we can't figure out what. They're like, yeah, don't bring it back to us again. So those are a couple of paranormal events that happened to us before. I got plenty more. If you guys want to hear more of these stories, say #more. That'll let me know. So with that, this video has been going on for just over 18 minutes, so we'll call it good. So until next time, Paranormal Fanatics. Yeah, that's not how I end these videos. How about, as always, stay spooky, my friends.